Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
ladies and gentlemen, it's your man DJ Grady, baby. Thank everybody for checking out the Grady Taylor Show. This supposed to be a crazy edition, but it's just kind of, I don't know. It's another one of those days, like Keith Sweat, one of those days, one of those things he always say, but it's one of those days to me. But want to thank everybody for checking us out Monday. Thank everybody for the comments. Shout out to all the people and potential sponsors of the Grady Taylor Show. Thank you, and shout out to the cast and crew. And I have with me my brother from another mother, my little big brother. I don't know, I'm about to call him little brother because he ain't big no more. I might call him little brother. Welcome to the stage, the president and founder of the Trans Slim movement. My little brother, G. Clark. What's up, G?
What's going on, Grady people? Hey man, life is good, but we just maintain it, man. I gotta get up out this little funk, man. I gotta get up out this funk. So just want to say good morning to everybody, and hope y'all doing good.
Good boning, everybody. Good boning, everybody.
Good boning.
That's it. What I was trying to do is go to the YouTube page and see if we're live on YouTube. But I might have to switch back to Facebook. So what I'm gonna do, man, we got to get Miss Shamika Moore on here. As soon as she jumped on, Miss Shamika, we have special guest appearance today. Mr. Brian Bowman is going to be in the building.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we live on Facebook and YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to the YouTube page, the Grady Taylor Show, Grady Taylor on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and also share. Also you can catch us on djgradybaby.com, and we have plenty of shows. The Grady Taylor Show, Doing After Dark, Tisa Beatty Show, coming soon. I was on the phone with my brother last night. Mind blowing with G. Clark, man.
Mind trip.
Oh, mind trip. You gotta turn your mic up, man. Is it me or you low?
I don't know. Let's see. We'll adjust that real quick.
Hold on. Let me do this here. Go, say something, G.
Check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Oh, that's on your end, brother.
Oh, it is? Okay. So
yeah, that's on your end.
We can adjust that real quick.
So, man, I just want to also, G. Clark, you have Facebook? Oh, not Facebook. Yeah. You have Facebook up on your thing? I won't be able to read the comments. I'm going to be asking the listeners questions. I'm going to be asking them questions about our, part of our topic. Well, one of our segments. We're going to talk about multiple things on the show. A lot of things. Also, we're going to talk about the stimulus check. Is your child entitled to a stimulus check? I had someone, Lily sent me a video of a mother talking to her child about a stimulus check, but I'm going to play something really quick. It's crazy. It is crazy. What you think about it, G? What's your thoughts?
Well, let's play it so everybody can see what we're thinking about. And as far as stimulus checks are concerned, man, I think if the parents doing what they're supposed to do, the child don't need to worry about it. Or if you're in a paid grade, because the majority of the majority of the country, there are people that are, not, if they're not on the poverty line, they ain't too far from it. They could probably catch an Uber to it. So as long as the parents are doing what they're supposed to, man, the child got to let that one. I can't even say let it slide, man. You ain't got no ground to stand on that one.
What did it say? You had no skin in the game or something like that? What is that? What is that saying?
No skin in the game. And I mean, it's $500. Let's just be real. $500, man. I mean, if you spend $100 in groceries, just groceries, not eating out, just groceries. If you spend $100 a week in groceries, that's already four weeks.
Oh man, he said something went wrong with the video. Oh my goodness.
What's that?
Something went wrong with the video. Of the stimulus check. video that I sent you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So good.
man, I definitely was looking forward to playing that for everybody. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I know if my child, well, my daughter, she wouldn't ask for a stimulus check, anything, or portion. She get everything during the year. But yeah, this lady, she went in on her baby about the stimulus check. Hold on 1 second. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna try it one more time. All right, I see you, Brian. Hold on. I see. Okay, I'm gonna try to click one more time. Here we go. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, trying to prep the video for the stimulus check thing. This lady was, I don't know. Gee, do you think she was scalding her child? What do you think of the tone of how she
Absolutely not. And if y'all see my head down, it look like I ain't paying attention. I'm trying to read the comments. Again, we invite you all to comment, like, share your thoughts on any of the topics, man. And if I see it in there, we're gonna read it out for you, and we'll add it to the discussion. But as far as her scolding them, I don't think she was scolding. I think she was teaching life lessons. See, a lot of times you got children and you have some adults that only see the obvious picture. They don't see the big picture. So if your life, only gives you so much room to see through your eye, and this is all you see, when in fact it's here, sometimes people have to lay that out for you. And I think she did a very job. She was very good job. She was so eloquent in her discussion.
But wasn't nothing elegant about that, brother.
It was eloquent,
loud and obnoxious to that child. Hold on.
That's a reach. But
hey, I kind of felt bad for the child. Well, I don't know.
I mean, sometimes you ask a question and you're gonna get, hey, you get what you ask for. So, that's all I see.
True. I'm trying to find another yeah. It's crazy, but definitely it's now. I guess we had to jump into it, man. I might have just jump into the fire, man. But I want to play this this clip from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. I think it was from yesterday. He had Brother David Banner on the show, and David Banner just hit some things like right on the head. It was just like, you know what? I wanted to say it, and I wanted to talk about that, but I was real hesitant. Remember, I was telling you last night, man. I was like, man, I want to say this, but I don't know how people may take it. But David Banner said it, so I was like, okay, let me play this for you. I'm gonna try to do it without the
murdering and killing unarmed blacks, and these are just the ones that we saw on video. Just imagine the ones that we have.
I'm gonna have to skip through that because I know they had to do a couple introductions.
White supremacists have infiltrated police departments all over the country, and everything that's going on, and none of these officers are going to jail. Except for the black cop that shot the white woman in Minnesota, he went to jail or whatever. But the white cops that kill unarmed blacks don't go to jail. And first of all, thank you for calling in, and good morning. And how you feeling? And what do you think about all of this?
Well, Richie, man, you know how long I've and the question that first of all, good morning, and thank you all for always respecting and looking for my voice. I really, really appreciate that. And I didn't
even say your damn name. I'm my bad, brothers. Hey, y'all get up for my little brother. My brother from another mother, the one and only David Banner.
Mr. Florida, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Killer execution.
I'm so damn mad I can't think straight.
It's all good, bro. This is a question that I just want to ask people. One of the problems that I have is we as a whole, we keep acting like, that's why I'm glad you said what you said. There's a systemic problem in America. And, people are starting to see that white supremacists have been ghosting and being a part of the police department, but that's always been the case. When the Ku Klux Klan was supposed to be shunned by America, they took off, in a lot of cases, they took off their white sheets and put on blue. And the problem to me with black people is we consistently think that politics is for us. We consistently think the police is for us. I hear so many black people consistently say these people need to be arrested. And we start feeling good when we hear words like the FBI is investigating. That's like me saying it's a part of the same system. It's like me saying my hand is investigating my foot. My hand is part of the same thing. So if we constantly see these people constantly getting investigated by these systems and nothing ever happens, then what are we going to do? Think about this. George Floyd is not going to be able to see a judge. We think these white folks' lives are better than our lives. No, we want the same thing that you took away from us. If you take my child away, I don't want your sorry. I want your child. And until we start respecting and loving black life, because think about this, Ricky, I want you to think about this. Anytime a person face is away from a cop, there is no reason for you to pull out your gun. If I'm running away, why are you pulling out your gun? If I'm face down, why are you pulling out your gun? If I'm already cuffed, why is your knee in the back of my neck? Why is a black body left out for 5 or 6 hours in the middle of the sun when you know you wouldn't do that? Black people keep wanting equal rights. I don't want equal rights. I want better rights. So for me, until their lives start being affected, till their mothers and fathers start, it's a friend of mine. Right now, my company is working on making a bulletproof vest. And the reason why I started working with this company, this cop out of Atlanta said that he started making bulletproof jackets for black people because he noticed that the victim never got a chance to make it to court. We only get their side of the story because our people died. So I want everybody out here to think, stop looking at celebrities. Stop looking at everybody outside of your community. If you want this kind of stuff to stop, what are you willing to do? We always talk about black history, and one of my mentors told me this. Our grandmothers and grandfathers constantly sacrificed for us. Think about what they did in Birmingham, what they did in Mississippi, what our parents would sacrifice in order for us to have the things that we have now. What is our generation willing to sacrifice to make sure that our children don't have to go through the same thing? Because we're talking about the same thing our grandparents talked about. So that means that we need to sacrifice more. So I'm not asking you what you're willing to post. Because Ricky, I want you to think about this. Every time we post an atrocity on our social media page and we don't do nothing about it, we show every other race of people that these people can continuously take our lives, and we're not going to do nothing about it. So you become the poster child for white supremacy when you post black people dying, but you don't do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm. And that's deep right there, brother. That's courtesy of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. David Banner was speaking about that, and that's sad. You know, people is talking about how can we need to fix this. We need to fix this, and then they want to blame the current the sitting president. This been going on before he got in office, before he was in office. So on the way, I can see marching. We've been marching peacefully, and right now I feel that we are a piñata. You know what you call them, piano? They just beat you. Everybody get a turn. You know, and every police department is getting their turn at executing. It's just sad, man. What are your thoughts on the situation?
Well, there are a few things that need to be addressed when it comes to the George Floyd situation. For those that have been on a rock for the past few days, on Memorial Day, I can't remember what time of the day it was. There was a young man that was stopped by the police. 4 officers ended up apprehending him, handcuffing him, and they had him pinned up against the police vehicle, and one officer had his knee on the man's neck. For over 6 minutes, this man's knee was on his neck, with the young man pleading for assistance, pleading for somebody to show any type of sympathy, remorse, or for help, pleading for his life, stating that he could not breathe multiple times, stating how his body was in pain, how everything hurt. And out of 4 officers, 4 people that we are supposed to trust to do the right thing. We're supposed to trust that they, of course, they do the right thing because they uphold the law that is seen in so many eyes of people to do the right thing. 4 out of 4 were compliant in his death. As a turn of the events, there have been has been a very, very, very big reaction from the Black youth in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's burning. It's burning. So as far as my thoughts are concerned, man, I'm with you. I'm sick and tired, Doc. I'm tired.
No.
I am tired of like the whole situation of racism. It's stupid to me.
Yeah,
it's stupid to me.
And I know people say you shouldn't fight violence. You shouldn't be violent. And I don't think we need to be violent. I think you remember back in the day, back in the day when a black person did something or was accused of doing something to the whites, what did they do? They assembled up and went directly to that person's home, right? The accuser's home, and what they do? Protested in front of their door. A lot of times they may have kicked in the door, but back in the early days in the 1800s, they'll kick in the door and drag them out and lynch them in front of the whole neighborhood. We need to apply those same those same things to them. The justice system let them go home. They went home. They didn't arrest them. They did not arrest those guys, but by making them a citizen, not a citizen. Making them, when they fired them, they became a citizen, right? And it just, I don't know, it's just mind-boggling, man. How long are you going to be peaceful? Like David Banner said, only thing they respect is, not in this video, but another video, a previous video, he said a loss of life and a loss of finance. And they're only going to respond to if something happened to them. And if they had did something to the Jewish community or the LBG, community, that they're gonna do something. They're gonna go back. They're gonna go, and it's gonna be some changes made. When is somebody gonna speak up for us, and it's gonna be changes for us? Right now, it just seems like we're fighting a losing battle. And I don't promote any violence, any riots, or anything like that. Only thing I want to see is the people that's being accused of, hey, get their address, go to their, find out where they're at, go get them, protest in front of their house. Don't go and damage department stores, because then you're affecting people's jobs. You're affecting your community. Go ahead, G.
I see. That's the thing. The only person that I saw spoke out, well, as far as anybody in the corporate land, was the mayor of the city. When AutoZone sees something like this and AutoZone does not make a statement, hey, when Wendy's doesn't make a statement and they know the majority of the customers are hey, it is what it is. I mean, nothing's going to happen until we make some type of movement or some type of stand that shows that, hey, y'all can't just keep stepping on us, man. Y'all just can't do it. You step on a dog's paw, and a dog gonna let you know that you stepped on him. He's either gonna yelp or eventually he's gonna bite. And I'm sorry, man, if you get bit from it, and you've seen, I mean, it's no secret that this stuff has been going on for over hundreds of years. It's been going on way too long. Mm-hmm. It's been going on way too long. And you stepping on us, and we've been barking, and we've been barking. So don't get sad when somebody get bit or something gets burnt. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I don't feel any for anyone that lost. I mean, they got it. They got insurance. They'll build somewhere else or do whatever they got to do. But hey, we got to show that it hurts, man, and that's real spill. We had Tiffany chime in. Oh, good morning, Lisa. I'm sorry, man. Y'all got to excuse me this morning, but we had Stoney reply. She said she thinks it's absolutely disgusting that we even have to talk about this in 2020. The actions done by the officers towards us is deplorable, and they shouldn't be viewed as anything supreme. There's nothing supreme about moral bankruptcy. Eye for eye is how I see it. Real spill. We have to save our we got to save ourselves. I mean, that's just it. Just like you said, you know, when they would go back against our ancestors and they would show up to our doorsteps and they would make an example out of one of us. You know, we have to be willing to make an example out of them. Too many times we see these videos where, I mean, you got all these professional cameramen and nobody's willing to react. Like, you got to understand, man, like I see you as a brother. You know what I'm saying? Whether I know you or not, I see you as a brother because you know what? The ones in blue see each other as brothers. And it don't matter if it's me on the ground or somebody that I don't know, they are banding as brothers against him. And I mean, somebody has to be willing to make an example out of them. You just can't come in here and okay, we understand. We do not support criminals. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody does something to me, I want justice to be served. But you just not gonna come into what in the world was that, Grady?
I hit a button. And the words of Shamika.
Where's Shamika? Jesus Christ, where's Shamika, man? But
sorry about that.
Somebody has to make an example, man. I don't, you know, hey, seeing stuff like that really, it really goes against what you think is your moral compass, because I believe wholeheartedly the majority of our people are either very peaceful or very scared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's either one or the other.
Right. But like David Banner said, somebody have to be willing to sacrifice. And you know what? What are you willing to sacrifice? You know, everybody sat there and watched. The officer sat there and watched. I'm gonna give you experience I had. I was a security guard at a crisis center, and when we did takedowns, whatever like that, or the sheriff would bring somebody in from the prisons to be evaluated, and a lot of times once we take the handcuffs off the prisoner, get the sheriff back the handcuffs, and then once we get them behind our closed doors, you know, the sheriff lose all power, whatever like that. So when they start to fight with us, so we have to put them down. Once we take them down, we have to do a 4-point restraint, and we can only restrain them for so long. You know, once we take them down and get them to the seclusion room, and then we'll 4-point restrain them, and then until they calm down. Then once they calm down, we will release one restraint. 15 minutes later, we'll release another restraint. You know, until then, you know, the officers have to know when to let up. But that right there was a blatant execution. And the way that he had his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck, and he leaned forward to apply more pressure on it. So, I mean, and like, let's like back to my story. Like when we had to do takedowns and stuff, I had a buddy of mine. He kind of, the guy hit him. So look, a lot of times you get in your emotions, you get fired up. So when the guy elbowed him, he reacted so fast, I didn't even have a chance to respond. So when he got him down, only thing I can do is grab his legs because he's going to put the Herner Hurst Helmsley pedigree on him. And so what I did, I snatched the guy's legs from up under him, keep the guy from getting his head smashed on the marble floor. And so my boy, he had his knee on the guy's neck. So I was like, yo, get up. You know, we got him. The officer should have did that. Pat him on the shoulders, like, hey man, let up. You know, they just sat there and stood there and watched. Like,
well, number one, his facial expression.
Yes.
His facial expression, stone cold. You can hear, even if it wasn't his officers stating for him to ease up, or to get off the man, you could hear clearly 3 to 4 people say, "Hey man, y'all got him. Y'all got him handcuffed. Y'all got him restrained. Get up off of him." He heard them say that,
Right.
and the other 3 officers heard it as well. And again, his expression, his facial expression, showed you exactly what he felt. There's no denying in my mind, in my heart, what that man felt as he kept his knee on that man's neck. There's no denying. You can't deny it. And the fact that 4 out of 4 officers, 100% in that situation, nobody had a inkling of common sense. No one at any point in time, because the man didn't seem like he struggled at all. And there have been multiple angles of videos that have been shown. Like, there's no struggle. There's no reason for them to be this mad that they just got to stay on top of him and proceed to hold him down the way that they did. Sometimes it's justifiable. I could see human action sometimes in certain reactions. If you're gonna make me chase you and you didn't hit me and this, that, and the third, sometimes my actions can supersede what I'm supposed to do. However, this was not the case. And I think that's what pisses me off so much, because he did everything that us as Black people have done in the manual. We have a manual where we talk to our kids, we talk to loved ones, we talk to people, to friends. Hey man, there's certain things you don't do. There's certain things you want to be respectful. You want to be calm. You don't want to struggle. You don't want to reach for something. You don't want to make a quick movement. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do. And when somebody does it by the book, and all he's doing, the man, is saying, "Hey, I can't breathe, man. Somebody get me some water. Somebody get me assistance." And 4 out of 4 people that we trust to be,
I know.
I'm trying to say this without cussing, but y'all got to understand, man. Like the ratio, 1 out of 4, just one of them. If one of them would have said, hey man, you got to get up off of him, man. Let him up, man. Ease up.
And the thing was, shout out to Nathaniel Smith, Kelsey Turner. What's up, brother? The thing was, I think I don't know which officer said it, but hey, they're like, "Hey man, get up, get in the car." Like, how can he get up? You have a man have his body weight on his neck. Hey man, get up, get in the car. If he try to get up, what it look like? He resisting. It's just execution. And then too, not to leave this discussion to go to the other discussion, where this lady who was walking her dog in a park frantically called 911 for the police to come. My life is being threatened. That Emmett Till type of thing. What if the police did come and show up? Because it's just like they're using the police as exterminators. I don't know. It just, people, we have to stop standing by watching. It's just like we are allowing them to do it. Like we are allowing them to get away with it. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I have some good friends. I have some fraternal brothers that are officers, but there are some bad officers. And I wish people would direct that negative energy toward those ones, the ones that caused it. Go march in front of their house. Go to their neighborhoods. Don't destroy where you live at. Go ahead, G.
Here's my first off. We thank you, Tristan, for joining in. Mr. Kelsey, we appreciate you joining in on the chat as well.
My little brother.
I like the idea of saying there's good cops. I really do. The human part in me wants to believe that there are good cops. However, we only see them when it seems like they're staged in the national presence. We'll say that for example. I'm not going to say what we see, because we see good things in the local all the time. So I can't be ignorant to that fact. But in the national scene, the only time we see good cops is that it's a staged situation. I'm playing basketball. Somebody wants to dance. Somebody wants to do something that's amusing, and it riles the people in entertainment. I'm waiting to see the good cop represented in the media in stopping a situation such as this. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I'm tired of seeing y'all play basketball. I'm tired of seeing y'all doing dance offs. I'm tired of that. I want to see when the foot is to the fire.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? When there's a situation of somebody's life continuing, you know what I'm saying? When somebody innocent could very well be on the brink of losing their life. That's where I want to see a good cop. I could give a damn about you being on the basketball court.
Doing TikTok
I could give a
dances.
damn about you dancing. That does not represent good cop. That represents somebody that was a kid at one point in time, that practiced at one point in time, maybe became pretty good at one point in time at a certain skill, but it does not show good cop.
Yeah. And also too, I always preach this methodology to artists. Like the artists, like, oh, when I get in the game, I want to get in the game and do this and that. But I'm doing my way. I say in order for you to change things, you have to get in. And like people, if you want to change things, we have to join the police department. Be that factor. You know, I have a lot. Like I said, I have a lot of great brothers, frat brothers that are, you know, they are law enforcement. You know, at one time I wanted to be matter of fact, right before I got married, I passed the test to become a DeKalb County sheriff. Back in, was that 2007, 2008. I took the test and passed it, and I was supposed to be on my way to Fleet Tech for the training, but didn't go. It was too much going on, you know, sheriffs and stuff getting killed in the jail and stuff like that. So my wife was like, "No, I don't want you to join. It's getting bad and stuff." So relocated to Brunswick, Georgia. But I always wanted to be a law enforcement, you know. And I like that, you know, interacting with the citizens and stuff like that. But just to see people policing our community that feels threatened by our community. Why are you here? You know, and they're just like, I don't want to make it turn into a military thing. It's just like when people, those contractors go overseas and work in those countries and stuff, and they look at those people, you know. Those people, just imagine somebody coming from another country to your neighborhood, patrolling, driving their tanks over your garden and stuff like that, just doing stuff. And it was one incident. People had burned some Bibles, some Qurans, and the people got frustrated with the soldiers. Remember, they started throwing stuff at the soldiers and this and that because the people that went there didn't understand their culture. People doing stuff and didn't understand their culture. The same thing with the law enforcement. When they come to our community, they don't understand our culture. They know black folks, we loud, we're aggressive by nature, you know. We talk aggressive, but we're not going to do anything. But also people, and I don't want to say this because I don't want to say it. Please don't take this the wrong way. We can't give them the ammunition. We can't challenge them. Like I think Ricky Smiler said, don't try to hold court with the law enforcement on the street. You know, just let them talk. And
they're serving death sentences before we can get to court.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very easy to tell somebody that, you know, whatever they've been going through, they could have had a very long day, and now they got police sirens on.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to tell them how to monitor their behavior.
Yeah,
that's not on the citizen. Honestly, it's not. It shouldn't be on the citizen to have to be the bigger person in the situation.
Right.
It's been plenty of times where the citizen has been the bigger person in the situation of than the officer, the one that's being paid to mitigate these situations, and it don't turn out right.
No,
I mean, you know, I get the sentiment. Yeah, there's certain things. Yeah, you should be respectful. I'm respectful to anybody that I meet. I am. But at some point in time, and especially when it comes to the male to male perspective, you know, it seems to be, I'm sorry, it's a dick measuring competition. Many times they feel like, hey, because they have the power, they can treat you any kind of way, they can talk to you any kind of way, and they're pulling for that reaction. So even if you start out calm, Because I've been in plenty situations where they're pulling for you to do something in front of my kids. They're pulling for a reaction from me. They don't give a damn, man. Like, excuse my language. I know it's a family show, man, but real spill, man. Like that whole narrative of you being calm at times and all that good stuff, man. It don't work.
No,
it don't work. Because many of them, when they pull you over, they looking for you to make that reaction. And if you don't give it to them, they're going to pull at it. And they're going to continue pulling at it. And nothing's worse than them trying to embarrass you in front of your family and you trying to do the right thing, number one, to keep y'all potentially alive.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like.
It's just like when I was, I can reflect back to my days as working with the, working with the crisis center because we partner with the DeKalb County Sheriff Department. I heard officers say, like, man, they was having problems at home, and they was like, man, shoot, first person act up, they gonna get the business. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're taking their frustrations out on home. Maybe they had an argument with their spouse or whatever like that, and they got a call to come to your house, and then you already heated and whatever's going on that end. So when the police get there, they like, oh yeah, he finna get it. And a lot of times they do it. And the thing is, what are they doing in these police academies to train these officers? Because I know when I had to get that, when I took the job at the for the crisis center, we had to go through a state training, crisis prevention. We're dealing with, it teach you how to deal with mental health, how to de-escalate a situation when you're approached with a person, especially as mental health, because a lot of people out here are mentally ill or have some kind of PTSD. The crisis prevention training is I think it was a 4-week course. I didn't take it I think it was back 2001 or something like that. It's a 4-week course, and it teaches you how to approach a person, because you have to be in the support position. That's in the support position when you stand to the side of a person instead of standing in front of a person. When you're standing in front of a person, it's like a challenge, especially if somebody that's already, like when the boxers get ready to square off, what they do? They stand face to face, right? That's so when you're standing face to face, it's a challenging position. Then you're coming with aggression. So just imagine you're dealing with a person that has suffered from PTSD or has some kind of anger issues. So you got a person standing in front of me. He's an authority figure, and you feel challenged. What you gonna do? You're gonna challenge. You're gonna take on that challenge. But the crisis prevention training taught us how to step to the side, stand to the side, and talk with them. Don't use your hands. Just use your words and talk soft and calm.
Well, the issue with that, man, is that like, the training of an officer is short.
Works though.
But no. It don't work because the training is so short.
Yes.
I am getting my bachelor's degree. I'll be graduating in August with my bachelor's in computer science, specializing in cyber security.
Uh-huh.
A course that's taken me 3.5 years to complete.
Mm-hmm.
Where I've had to go through all types of ethical courses. I've had to go through government courses. I've had to go through some light psychology, math, science, history. I've had to go through all of this to get this bachelor's degree.
Hey.
3 years. 3 years and some change. It wasn't 3.5.
Oh, wow.
But an officer can be an officer in 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way you can tell me that you have enough training dealing with people, in 3 months. And this goes to the very best officer to the very, very worst officer. Firemen have to volunteer, a year?
Uh-huh.
Volunteer. Not paid. Volunteer. But a police officer can just say, hey, I want to be a police officer. I can pass a drug test, which does not stipulate anything in most cases. But and in the quickest sense, you know, EMT has to train for a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not the same, and it's not right. Police officers should be the highest trained and the most thoroughly trained and frequently trained.
Yes.
In these
you
fields.
know what? I think they should, you know, match up the patrolmen. You know, you put somebody of a different race with them. Well, I can't even say that. They had a person, Asian looking guy that was there, so I can't even say that. At least somebody that's familiar with the community or familiar with the culture. You know, do we have any comments from Facebook? I know I haven't looked at it because I'm doing the engineering and production stuff over here on this side here.
Well, Tristan chimed in. She said, "Hey guys, I hear you, G. I'm over it all too." Mr. Kelsey said he had to join in. Thanks for what we're doing. We have to educate ourselves with the laws and our constitutional rights. Knowledge is power. Mr. Brian Bowman, he said, "You're so correct, G." Man, I appreciate y'all. You know, I'm not. We're not trying to be in a correct or incorrect space. You know,
not.
That would suggest that an argument is indeed valid at this point in time. We're right. As my grandma would say, right is right and it wrongs nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't argument. There's no argument when it's just right to me, man.
Right. True.
But yeah, we want to hear y'all thoughts, man. We want to hear y'all thoughts. If y'all want to chime in on this, man, what do y'all think? What do y'all think is the logical move? Because we have examples in Minnesota right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have examples of people exercising their rights in different ways. We have some that are rioting. Yeah. We have some that are peacefully protesting. There was a video that was shown from yesterday where they had somebody in one of the peaceful protests, you know, inciting violence. Oh yeah, they had about 4 black men escort that man right out the protest. So you have different people exercising different means of their rights.
Yeah.
What do y'all think is the next logical step? What should we do?
Yeah.
Is rioting the answer? Is yelling in the streets with having no type of demands, no type of anything? We're just gonna yell in the streets. I mean, what is the next logical answer to y'all, man? We want to hear y'all chime in.
You know what the thing I want to put out, G? I think if we do go out and protest, so what happens when people protest? The police say, "Hey, y'all need to get back, do this, this, and this." And if they don't, they continue to protest. What they do, they will lock them up, right, as protesters.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be bailed out, right? Correct. So in the process of being bailed out, what happened? Do you get bailed out for free, or how much is an actual bail is?
Sometimes you get a signature bond. Sometimes it just varies. It varies on the precinct. It varies on how they want to punish you, man.
So with the bail, so like you go protest, you get arrested, then you have to bail out. It depends on if you have warrants or whatever like that, whatever you may have, whatever may be going on with you. That money goes to that same department that killed the young man or incarcerated innocent person. So my thing is, do not protest. You know, do not protest. Let the justice system play itself out, but direct your anger toward the cops, because if you go protest, they're going to arrest you. Then they're going to get money for bail because you're writing tickets and fines and stuff. So all you're doing is stimulating the justice system economy.
But does it make sense? That to me, that doesn't matter. It has to be seen. It has to be seen.
It's already been seen.
We cannot. No, man. No, we can't sit here and continue to.
Man, we've been marching for years. We had 1943. We had the 43 riots, the 63 riots. 1963 or 64 riots?
Oh, it's plenty more than that. I mean, you can go to the 1800s and see race riots.
Yeah.
And whether it's been us initiating the riot or defending ourselves from rioters. This whole situation of America has been nothing but us defending ourselves. Now, we talk about violence and how violence is not right, but you got to understand your opponent. You have to understand your opponent. Where we've had morality and we've allowed you to slap us in the face and we say nothing, or we've been peaceful, or we try to understand, we try to get on the same ground, man. Like this is documented things that we have done.
Okay.
But you have to understand your opponent.
Okay.
When I boxed, if you were somebody that was a scrappy fighter, somebody that yeah, your hands were fast, but you ain't had no force behind it, I knew how to deal with you. If you had hands that could be registered as lethal weapons, I knew how to deal with you. I knew I better not get hit by it. But sometimes you got to fight fire with fire.
Thank you.
Because as long as you think about the bully mentality. Now, anybody that grew up in the 80s and 90s, we knew how to deal with bullies.
Right.
Like you come up and you trying to take something of mine, or you want to be disrespectful for me just because the clothes that I wear or something like that is the exact same thing that we have been dealing with racism.
Okay.
And what do? We had to hit the bully in the mouth. We shall overcome a bully.
Yeah.
And that's what we've had over 400 years of dealing with this mess. We've had bullies, and we think that okay, it works in our community the way that we deal with a bully, the way we handle a bully.
Right.
However, in the larger scheme of things, we feel that we should, like if they see that we'll suffer enough, come on, man. Like they have fetishes of making people suffer. Like that's a real thing.
Gee,
you know what I'm saying? To be able.
We are at war. When they pass laws and bills and stuff, this is the war on drugs. This is a war on this and that. This is a war on depopulation. You know what I mean? The best way to neutralize the population, you take out the men. And just like you explained to me last night, when they invaded America, who they took out? The men.
They took out the men.
So you can control the population by taking out men. We are at war. And the thing is, with us, we are at war. They have guns, they have this and that. We're going to war with nothing but voices, just screaming and yelling. No. Only way to win a war, Lord, forgive me for saying this, somebody have to die. Somebody can't be afraid to die. Soldiers they sign up for the military, they knowing that it's a war, it's a possibility. You understand? So I don't know. I just can't stand around and be a victim. I'm sorry. Not promoting violence or anything like that, but we're at war. It's a war against us. Who's going to speak up for us? Marching only goes so far. I'm sorry. Marching only goes so far.
Well, hold on. We're going to address Mr. Kelsey's comment. He said, violence only begets violence. We need to protest in the courthouses and legislative areas. Are you saying I'm thinking he's saying civil war or civil law have to break out for a change?
Civil law.
I'm thinking, I agree. Violence begets violence. However, violence has been perpetuated on us first.
Yeah.
So their violence, if we're stating that correctly, their violence only begets our violence. It's a cause and reaction.
Right. Thank you.
I'm torn. I'm very torn. let me just be clear. I'm torn on this because morality for us, we are a moral people. I believe we are moral people. We are a peaceful people. And I believe the same thing that tears me tears a lot of us. However, we have to say, man, okay, you know what? We got future generations that are we complacent? Are we comfortable? Are we great with saying that, hey man, you know what? When I leave this place, my great grandchildren gonna be in the same situation that I was in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if they commit a crime, crime does not equal death in many situations.
Mm-hmm.
And it certainly does not equal death to someone who is not authorized to give death.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean that we're supposed to have our day in court. We're supposed to be proven and that we earn it.
We don't get a day in court. Mr. Floyd don't get a day in court. Arbery doesn't get his day in court. You know, it just, oh my God, it's just heartbreaking, man. And like when I'm driving down the streets, I see a police car, and I be like, man, you know, what's the first thought? Man,
all
please
get the
don't
same
come with that mess.
hold on. We look just like this.
Yep. In the rearview mirror, we can't even focus on the car in front of us because we worrying about the police behind us. You know, so driving while wet, black.
Mr. Bowman said legislation is the best way.
Yeah. We also got to know. Two, we have to know our laws, but two is how we display what we know with the officer. We cannot be aggressive toward them. You know, soft tongue turns away harsh wrath. I don't know the Bible verse, but that's what it is. But when we communicating with these officers, we have to remain calm. Remember, they're nervous. I had a cop put a gun to my head and said he was nervous. I'm like, how am I making you nervous and you have a gun? I was a federal security officer at the time. I worked for the federal government. How am I making you nervous? So I had to show him my badge and whatever like that. But if you're nervous, why you take the job? You know, that's just like I'm signing up to be a boxer, but I don't like to get hit in the face. You know, come on. You know,
I'm scared to throw a punch.
Yeah.
Well, nah. They ain't scared to throw no punches.
It might not be the job for
you
you.
right. You right. Yeah.
But people, we have to be smart. So we know they're gonna pull us over. They're gonna pull us over to provoke us to a certain reaction, like G said. So don't give them what they want. Just maintain they give you the right. You have the right to remain silent. So be silent. They ask you for the ID, whatever like that. Okay, here's the ID. You know, don't say nothing. Don't give them no ammunition. If you don't have no warrants, you have no quarrel with them. Let them go ahead and do their search, because a lot of times when they get these I forgot what you call that, when the police officers have that meeting, that morning meeting prior to going out on the shift. A lot of times they have a meeting about a certain vehicle that they're looking for, or a certain person that they're looking for, or a certain color vehicle. So a lot of times they could be just following orders from the captain. But if you get pulled over, hey, ask him what's the problem. If he doesn't say, I just need to check ID. Maybe,
if we gonna follow that rule, if you ask him what the problem, you're probably triggering a reaction.
Oh yeah, true.
Again.
Oh,
like
sorry.
I said, man,
is everything okay, officer? How you doing? You know, let's start out like that. That's kind of like a slavery mentality. Anything on with? Do we have a problem, boss? You know, I don't know.
Just like Malcolm said, yeah. Do we have a problem?
Do we have a problem? You know,
is we sick?
But we have to have some kind of decorum when dealing with the law. You know, and I hate that. And I said I hate having to go back to the Bible verse, but but I have to use the Bible verse. The Bible said, "Obey those who have rule over you." So, but you got to think about it. The police officer trained. I really would love to talk to a police officer to figure out what they're learning in police academy as far as the authority. Because I know people say if a person don't follow their orders, they are a threat. Something like that. I'm not sure, but I really would love to talk with the officer. If an officer would love to come on and explain the training and their methodology, please leave a comment, and we'll send you a link for you to come on the show, or you can call in. We'll inbox your number for you to call in. We would love to just hear what you have to say. It just, I don't know, man.
And don't mind my facial expressions. Again, I do believe that there are good cops out there. However, we don't see them in situations where they should be seen. That's just like saying they're good Atlanta Falcon players, but we never see them win in the fourth quarter. You know,
I mean, like, D. Sorry, G. Clark, I didn't cut you out. The
Yeah,
motivation
yeah.
queen checking
Good
in.
morning, Wanda. Good
Hi,
morning.
hi. Yeah, wonder how do you feel about what's going on? I know this, this is, normally we do funny stuff, entertainment, but Steve, like my man Steve Harvey says, sometimes things ain't funny no more. It's hard to be funny, when your heart is hurting and stuff like that. It's just like, man, we just, it's rough. It's rough, man. It's rough. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of at loss of words. And I know a lot of law enforcement officers. Like I said, I have fraternal brothers that are officers. They're good people, but we need them to understand our culture, and also people when engaged with the cops, we have to remain calm. Don't give them no kind of ammunition.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. And again, I have many friends that are officers as well. I'm talking about the media attention, because when we see good officers in the media, we see them playing basketball, we see them having dance battles, and maybe that's the media's fault, but we never see. Somebody please show me one example of where it's got media attention, where the officers, you had more than one officer, and just like the case of Mr. Floyd, they had four people, four different brains, four different upbringings. One guy clearly is a minority. He may be American born, but his lineage comes from a different place. So you had four people there that could have had just one have empathy, one saying that, okay, man, we got him, one that had an inkling of common sense.
Yes.
And 4 out of 4 failed.
Yeah.
So, and all 4 of them we are supposed to trust to protect and serve. All 4 of them we trust them to uphold the law. All 4 of them we expect them to uphold the oath. So, like I said, I believe there are good officers. I do. I'm not bashing all, but at this point in time, man, we have to do our part. We can't sit here and let you smash our leg, break our leg, and we just act like it didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt. And
hold on. Because the history books say we loved it.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing with our ancestors now. They're saying that slavery, they volunteered for slavery, that these were volunteer workers that came over, that they weren't forced, that they weren't in chains. This is what they're teaching our kids right now. And it has not been 150 years since it last happened.
Right.
And they're already telling them lies, and they're morphing the story. So if we sit here and we don't say that it hurt, and we don't make action, I'm sorry, man. You go ahead.
Let me give first a shout out to Robin Taylor. Shout out, happy birthday. Thank you for checking in. Our first time ever checking in. Thank you. Robin Taylor, that's the first wife. But shout out, happy birthday. Look forward to the birthday party. It's going down. It's tough, G. It's tough, man. But we just need some. If anybody have an inkling of an idea, how can we fix this? But I know like somebody said, we have to go to the I guess the federal government, or march on Washington or something like that. Somebody have to find somebody, because Benjamin Crump, is his name Benjamin Crump? He represented everybody. And I think Benjamin Crump, he only does civil cases. We need a prosecute. We need,
He's essentially the new Johnny Carson. I'm not a Johnny Carson.
Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran. I'm sorry. My mind's all over. Well, I wouldn't say he's Johnny Cochran, but he's following in the same footsteps. I mean, Johnny Cochran. Jesus Christ, Thurgood Marshall. I mean, they were staples in their time period of representing. Even when somebody could have been dead wrong, such as OJ, but they represented people when there was an egregious act against them, in these cases. So, I believe that we should try the legislative route. I do believe that we should try in Congress, but I also believe that we should show them, hey man, we sick of this. Like, okay, when AutoZone start going to the government saying, hey man, and And you know they need to be in our neighborhood. You know our cars break down more than everybody else. You know they need us. When AutoZone goes to the government and say, "Hey man, we need something to happen. We need y'all police to stop doing what y'all doing because their dollar is not supporting us in this neighborhood, or their dollar is not supporting us in this nation." One thing that this quarantine has shown us, and Grady, you said this, so I don't want people to say to think that this is my idea, that I'm this smart. But one thing that the quarantine has showed us is that the fact that we could not get to businesses that we would want to support, okay, has crippled a lot of these businesses, causes businesses to go out of business. The fact that the quarantine, just because we have been kept in house, restricted on places that we can go and spend our money, this, that, and third, it's shown us the power that we have.
Power of the currency.
If we do decide to boycott and financially hurt them, I think that's the ultimate goal. That's better than any building burning. Right. Because if you got to go look at your building, all it has is inventory for weeks on end that has not moved. Yeah, you're gonna wanna negotiate at some point in time. You're gonna want to compromise at some point in time.
Yep.
We just got to get together.
You said it, G. Cause think about it. Like I said, my time with the military spent when I drove from Brunswick, Georgia, driving to San Angelo, Texas. You know, we passed through a couple of good towns that didn't have many people, but they only had one police car. Well, maybe a couple of police cars, one patrolling officer. Think about this. People that are not there, they don't have the funding for the police department. So that's what prompted me to say people don't need to go and protest. Because if you go and protest, they'll find a way to arrest you. Somebody said a long time ago, I can't recall who said it, take what they love and make it a crime. Once you take what they love, make it a crime. It made cruising a crime, right? We love driving around in our cars. So now we can't cruise. So if you see somebody cruise, it's a fine, right? You got to pay a ticket fine. You pay the court fee, and you have to pay whatever fee. So think about it. If you don't go, you don't pay. You hurt the departments. You know, you see that like these department stores are closing. I just saw Victoria's Secrets. They're closing a couple of hundred stores. You know, because of what? Because of people not shopping. Because of the COVID.
They're not shopping. They're not essential. And I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. But if we took the same approach, now that we see, you have no choice but seeing, and that's why I think this quarantine, even though I don't believe in certain parts of that disease, I believe this quarantine was a blessing because we get to see, okay, well, I can't go here. Wow, they are suffering because I have not been here. And others have the calf has been fattened for others. But it shows if we put our money, where we put our money, how we put our money, when we put our money, it matters. Yes. It matters. And if we can get everybody on the same page and say, you know what, we don't like the way that this company is treating us. Nobody spends. I don't believe in going and standing in front of somebody's restaurant and begging them to serve me. Yeah, I don't believe in. I don't care. Your food is not that good. There's recipes online. Somebody can figure out how to do what you do. That foolishness has to stop.
Yeah, it does.
But protesting, I believe we should. I believe we should.
Yeah, man. I know we have some more things to talk about, but we have to save it for another day. But people who join it, shout out to Acapulco Southwest Shouted, 828TL.
What's going on, Doc?
What's happening? The thing I want to just encourage people, don't be a victim, and please don't stand around and let someone else be a victim. Study the laws, especially study the law. Shout out to Mr. Harris, Mr. J. Harris. He posted something on Facebook. I can't recall it right now, but it was I guess it's a law. I mean, he put the articles of everything in it. Well, citizens has the right to step in when they see the police abusing their force. So make sure you guys look that up, Google that. If I can go back and find it, I will share it on my Grady Taylor page. But get familiar with that. People, stop allowing things to happen. Also, officers, if you see your brother doing something wrong and you know that it's wrong, don't be afraid to step up. Say something. I know that's your buddy. You don't want to say nothing to him in front of people. It shows weakness. But come on, player. So people, let's not be a victim, and let's not provoke these people to, because the only thing they're gonna do, it's gonna continue to happen. All they're gonna do, what's gonna happen? What's been happening? They'll kill a family member. They go to trial. The court will write a family a check. Then it's on to the next story. That's all they're doing. They paying us off. So please don't provoke them. Please just don't be a victim. The less you say, they say less is best, right? So let's practice that. Police pull you over. Don't say much. What you need? What you need, officer? Just get what he needs so he can go on about his day. So you can go home to your family. And apparently, they'll get the picture. I hope, man. We all look out for each other. We got to stop doing what we're doing and stop going out spending our money on foolishness. Stop. Like I said, I'm against I don't mind protesting, but I'm against it right now because all they're gonna do is find a way to arrest you so they can get money for bail. That's it. Don't become a victim. Don't become a statistic. Stay safe. Be blessed. Enjoy your family. Do what you got to do so you can get home. But don't direct. All cops are not bad. We're not saying all cops are bad. All cops are not bad. Just a few. And if you have any anger, direct that toward the ones that did it. Not anybody else. Don't go destroy property in your community. Don't destroy a business that's in your community or a business downtown. That officer did that. They should have the attention put on them. Not everybody else. Go ahead, G. You got something to say?
I was gonna say, man, yeah, don't destroy the property. They'll only gentrify you in the next few years. Yeah. Anyway,
and then you can't go home.
but okay, so the inherent fact, and this is my last thought because we done gone over an hour, is that it's a crying shame that we have to warn each other, or we have to prepare each other for an encounter with officers. Again, black on black crime is not something that we support. If you notice, anybody in the hood, man, if something happens to somebody, there's a complete rush. There's a complete feeling of empathy for the family that's lost. There's a lot of times it's senseless, and we understand things being senseless. We do feel hurt. We do feel, but and even in that sense, man, when it's black on black, we do seek justice. 9 times out of 10, that person is caught and has to deal with their actions. But it's sad. It's a sad day that we have to prepare each other. We have to have the manual on how not to be killed and with having an encounter with the police. And if you have no reason to react, if you have no reason to do something, if you have no reason to push, that should be the push for itself. If you have kids, think about it, man. Think about it. If you have kids, you have successfully put a new generation on this planet. If they live to grow to an age where they can do the same, that makes you a great grandparent. Or that makes you a grandparent. And if their children do it, that makes you a great grandparent. Do you want your children's children to live under the same circumstances that your great grandparents lived under, that you lived under? Because it's tyranny. It's tyranny. It makes no sense. It's fair is not a principle of the Bible, is not a principle of God, but however, you have the opportunity to right those things.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Just because it ain't fair doesn't mean that you can't make it right. And if y'all want to go to the Bible, because we quote a lot of peaceful things, but it also is the Bible of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, life for life. So it gives you one and it gives you the other. And there's a whole lot of in between. And the fact that a lot of us do nothing means that we ain't. All right, I'm done. I love all y'all, man. We love our sponsors and all that good stuff, but we have to speak up, man.
Yeah.
Again, the
Thank
way
you,
they rewrite our stories, and there's been memes going on. They'll say, they'll have a meme of Vanilla Ice and say that was Jay-Z, in 100 years. You know what I'm saying? Like they take our story, they manipulate it. They've already manipulated slavery. They manipulated Dr. King. A lot of us didn't know that Dr. King, towards the end of his life, was about it. He was like, "Hey, man, we need to go get our check." And at the beginning, he had guns. He was coerced into going into peacefully. So, man, y'all gotta understand, man. They change the narrative of our story all the time. And if we don't have these blips in history where it shows that, hey, man, we were upset or we did something about it, ultimately that we changed it, they're gonna keep changing our stories, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep changing our stories.
These who control the media, they control the life. They control everything. Stories, the lessons, the what we said last night, G. The school, the lesson plan. they write the history. We,
it don't
they
have
take
to be
it
true.
in. Huh?
It don't have to be true. It don't have to be true.
Do your research for yourself. The Bible says, "Study to show thyself approved." So do your own research. Don't rely on what they say. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
they going
write
on?
Movie scripts. They are professional at changing the narratives. So look, we about to wrap this thing up. We went over an
Shout
hour.
out to Yeti. Shout out to Yeti, man. He's checked in. He's in on it as well.
Oh, shout out one time for Yeti. Yeah, man, we got to wrap this thing up, man. What's going on? Stay safe. Each one reach one. Each one teach one. We love you. We out here. Peace.
Brother, there's far too many of you die.